Hi, welcome to my spaceship or something like that. Beautiful wallpaper. The topic is my work of today. I've done all the work. On the 24th of December, what does Erdogan do? He creates a new layout, a new look for the future Calamares for ArcoLinux, right? Now that's I've created all that from like the whole day, right? And the last 3 hours I thought, why not? Still, since everything is still fresh in my mind, why not make a nice look as well for, you got it, Carli. This is a Carli project. Okay. How do you start? Nobody teaches me anything, right? How do you start? Well, Calamares is here. GitHub, Calamares. So Adriaan de Groot is one of them, and you can git clone this particular GitHub, right? And have it locally, analyze it, read it. And that's basically what I ask you to do. You go to your terminal, maybe in documents is a good place, somewhere where it's out of the, well, working area, let's say, and already available. Because today is 24th, but next year there will be more updates coming and new changes and new possibilities, new functionality. And then you need to know as developer what changed. You do here git pull, and that's it. And then you get lots and lots of information in. We at ArcoLinux, we do right mouse click and we do, let's do that again, right mouse click, open with Git ahead. And I tend to read them. I tend to check, okay, what's changed? This changed, that changed. Okay, all the changes, and you can go through all the changes one by one. What changed? The source and the modules are important. But today we're talking about the branding. And here's the branding, the default branding coming from Calamares. This is how its standard looks. This is what we need to change, and this is what we need to keep track of as well. So if this is the branding, Control C to the desktop, Control V, then this is coming from Calamares, right? Control X. And I go to Carli, I go to the Carli Calamares configuration, and we have in here a branding. And we compare these two together. Right mouse click, compare. So that's what I've done. In the meantime, I've created SVGs. You can create PNGs, SVGs. SVGs has the advantage that when it becomes bigger, it stays great. Because a PNG, when it's a very small PNG, let's say 300 on 200 pixels, and you come on the screen of 1920 or 1080, it's all blurred. It's all not nice, basically. So either you provide big PNGs or you provide SVGs, which should look cool on any display. So I'm trying that out. And this is a banner that we don't like and don't need. So it's a choice. Do you want this banner? Not really. Okay. Then I've not copy pasted it over. Simple as that. And here is the interesting stuff. Show QML. Show QML. Branding description. This needs to be changed. We've changed it already, made it up to date, more text, more detail, more information. This is all information. We've added it from the default Calamares to our default Calamares. So this is default cal to the right, coming straight from GitHub. We downloaded it, and this is ours. But I did all the work already. Okay, so keep that in mind always. And then the show QML, and this is more. We've done a little bit more. This takes hours, right, to make all that. Would be a long video. And how do I know what to write? And that's all these QML things, right? There are QML things in here. Maybe you recognize something like Manjaro and KOS and Endeavor OS. What does that mean? It means there is no standard. This is the show QML. This is the right one, is the one from Calamares, which is not enough to define all the elements and the look in Calamares. You need to figure out all these things. How do we figure things out? Well, basically, you Google. Oh, did I close it now? I did, Eric, you did. But I have something open already here. You Google show QML. Why? Calamares uses show QML. Any distro out there, if Google does its work, you will find a file somewhere online that defines the look. Well, in this case, it's not the look, it's the objects, the pictures, the text in Calamares, and the other one is the CSS, and that stands for Cascading Style Sheet, which is actually going to style it, design it, what color, what font, how big. That's how it's done, right? So what we've done in the video that I already attempted in making is look at the code here and try to learn it, try to read it. So it's an interval running through. You don't need to understand everything, but here is the width of the image. And there is some text. Welcome to Manjaro. Manjaro is driven by hardworking and dedicated community, and so on. So how does it work? It works with a slide, and in the slide is an image, and in the slide is a text, and again another slide with another image and another text. And one of the things it hates, it needs to be an identical, not unique. It says ID. It stands for, ID is unique number. So it should be unique. So if you copy paste, and we all copy paste, well, don't forget to change the number. Background 1, background 2, background 3. So you hear it already. I forgot to change the number. And I can package again. So this is one way of learning. You download Manjaro, you see how is Calamares looking there, and that's why it's looking like this. It has slides and all that. And if we go one up, because we are in the neighborhood, no CSS present here. There are other things you can have a look at. Might be the same thing, right? But it's other text probably, I don't know. But that was Manjaro. What do I have here? That's Manjaro, and that's extensions. This is KOS branding. So another person, it actually is coming from Calamares itself, but it was from KOS, and it's an old one, I think, 2018. So you go and look. If you like the KOS look, you can probably find their GitHub somewhere, or Git or GitLab or something like that. KOS GitHub probably. Looks like it, right? And then Calamares. And we are using the same tools. But some of us are not making a separate package for configuration. Some of us are actually going straight in here and making the KOS branding in here. Show QML, here's the style sheet, you see? So again, new code we just copy paste over, and then we say, this does that, the width is this, and so on, the color white, then happens, and so on. You change these things, change it to red or green or blue, and then you see immediately, that's that particular object that I'm changing, right? So that's how I got my knowledge. If there is some tutorial out there and you say, Eric, to learn QML, to know all these parts, or to know CSS, please be my guest, copy paste it under here in YouTube. Any help is appreciated. We always want to learn more. So what I've done is particularly learning from others. Linux is standing on the shoulders of others. I don't think would have even a Linux kernel, right? Linus Torvalds and thousands others are supplying us a kernel. Thanks to them, we have a system. Okay. I always find it important to tell people. Branding. So this one can go. That was a default one. That was to try and to learn. So all these guys, this is the one that's used. All the rest is rubbish. This I rubbish in the sense that I've learned everything that I could learn. I've compared everything and I said, okay, I'm gonna use this code, I'm gonna use that code, tried it out, okay, like it the way it is, and that's what you do. You compare code from EndeavourOS, KOS, Manjaro, and this was the original coming from Calamares itself. Always keep track of the original. So I guess I can delete more of these things that are not supposed to be online, or maybe should go online. I don't know. Anyway, I'll let them stay here for a while. And then we can, well, we created via Inkscape, we created well, I can click it. We created a page, an image, an SVG image. So it's a vector image, which means all these lovely colors can actually be opened with Sublime Text. No image can be opened with a text editor. SVG, it's quite possible, and that's of course super interesting. All the Saturday icons are SVGs. If I want to change everything that's white in here to a color, it's just a script that I run. Okay, so I thought, well, let's just make welcome to Carli. Carli stands for Customized ArcoLinux ISO. Enjoy. You put in there whatever you like, right? It's just a story you tell to the people. Say, okay, this is distro, and you give some information, a text, and so on. And had a nice wallpaper as background, and I don't know how to call this, a rectangular with some see-through aspects and color that's transparent. Et voila. And we've got images, and we've put these images in here in the show QML. We told him, come over here, plain text, QML. Yeah, QML, probably need to download something, but it doesn't matter. It looks good. It's important that you open and close things. Yeah, the way they should be open and closed. So here is the first starter. ID presentation function begins here, ends here. Timer begins here, ends here. Slides opens here. Image ends, begins and ends. So that's closed, still open, then the text comes and it opens and it closes. Okay. And this ends the image. This is the image that stops. So I see I could have changed a little bit more spaces and all that, but as long as you get what I mean, it needs to close like a HTML tag. It needs to stop somewhere, right? Otherwise it just keeps on getting bold all the time. Stop, a start and a stop. So 4 background, 4, and then 5 and 6. So they're pointing to the SVGs. 7, and I did too much copy pasting and I had 8 and 9, and of course they do not exist, and then everything crashes. Something like user module. So remember that if you see 2 times lines user at user or something like that. And if you launch it, Calamares, with pk execute or pkexe, pkexe, Calamares -d, you get more information from the terminal. And I saw that I made a mistake. It gave, in this case, it gave the message your QML line 200 and so on. So, oh my god, need to edit the code again. Okay, so that's all we did, I think. Well, we have left the style sheet still alone. I've been playing around with it all day in ArcoLinux. I think that's, yeah, that's still the original. Everything is black, which means nothing is applied. There is no CSS. It's just bare. Okay, so that's cool. That's for next time. And then we package it. So, well, first GitHub, right? First we push everything to the GitHub. So right mouse click and then up, Git, push it to the GitHub. Then we go to Carli and we make a new package. Carli package build, Carli Calamares configuration, always up the number, new thing. Okay, up the number. Then a package is created. GPG detach sign. So you have a signature with it. And then you put it where it's supposed to be. And that's on the repo. Carli repo, x86. We got a new build for Calamares as well. I've done that too. And this is our configuration. So these are the new images that are in there. Then we built the ISO sudo /build.sh, right? We built the ISO and then we test it out. And this is the result. Yep, everything in there. So it all starts with learning some code, reading some code and copy pasting some code. And then you say, oh, okay, that's what's happening with that code. And the more you do it, the more you learn. Don't be too afraid to just copy paste and try and fail, whatever. And then try again. Tomorrow then maybe. So we have here an issue. That's cool, not cool. Control T. I haven't rebuilt it probably after my adventures. Well, first of all, let's get like this. And then since it's on the repo, all I need to do is sudo pacman -syu, that's it, I think. Then we need our Carli thing. Yeah, that's because we're still in the live environment and not in the system. Okay, so a quick way around that is as follows. Sudo pacman key, and then you're going to say local sign Carli. Voila. Now it knows my key. And here are the new stuff. So like I said, I have a new Calamares and new configuration. I didn't have time. Why rebuild it? Because here it is. Let me also show you this. So that's what I was spelling this out by pk exec Calamares -d. So, or this, which is just graphical, or this, which gives us more information in the terminal, and you can learn then what's going on, and so on and so on. You have some more information. I've read it 1,000 times, so should you, right? Check it out. What elements, what references are they giving me? So there are things here about background is not defined, so that's the CSS thing. So, okay, future time. Rome wasn't built in a day, but this is what we created. So from now on, Carli will look like this. I'll do something about this too. You can create cow space if you want to know what it is. Google it. Cow space, like the cow where you get milk. Cow space, and you can make this bigger so that we have more room to experiment. Because I downloaded Calamares, I did this, I did that. And then you can actually work on your live environment with some more cow space. So Brussels is cool for me. I'm going all the way up to Belgium. Next, erase disk. This we can do as well. We can say Calamares a little bit bigger so we don't see the slider. If we open this up, and I guess this is okay from size, so we don't see a slider. I think this is the biggest it gets, so we can get to this. No, a little bit more. So the slider here is gone. So we can fix the size here. Okay, 3 things to do. I'll rewatch the video. Next, this is a setting of Calamares, which means it won't allow me to make a super simple password. So I need to have a long, difficult one, or it will complain. That too can be set in Calamares if you do want to have the possibility to have a simple one. And this is our result. It's done. We're finished looking at these old screens that were never changing. Well, they were changing, but it was a standard, right? So Carli equals, click customized ArcoLinux ISO. Enjoy. Welcome to Carli equals customized ArcoLinux ISO. Enjoy. And so on. So it loops through all the elements that we've created. This is an SVG. So I do hope that my friend Steven has a super big screen that it still looks great on his system. And even like this, even small, if we stretch it out, yeah. Okay, it becomes less beautiful, but who will do that? The point is why we created this like this is, of course, the tiling window manager. We have 21 desktops on ArcoLinux, and I think already around 8 or so are like this when they boot up. They're all big. So now our images are also stretched, but stretched nicely, beautifully. Alright, that's what I've done the last 3 hours, and the rest was for ArcoLinux. All about Calamares, designing, figuring out QML, CSS, so we have a nicer Calamares installer. Cheers guys!